and talk about these housewives for a little bit. Real housewives of Atlanta. Look, before my phone go dead. I was just eating a Culver sandwich and French fries. But anyways, I watched the episode this morning because last night I just had got off the plane. So I didn't want to get on and look at anybody else's reviews or go to my Facebook group, which is, they discuss the show. So I wanted to see it first. So I watched the show. I feel like the girls is working. They are working. People don't like Kellie, but her little ass is working. And they didn't woke K Michelle up, so she's starting to shake the table. But somehow all this is Shamia's fault. This is where it gets me though with everybody. I understand people don't like Shamia, don't like Kellie, and K Michelle now, and they don't like Pinky. Maybe Pinky might be in good graces, so she ain't in the thick of shit no more. But I feel like this shit is all Angela's fault. And everyone, that has that loves Porsha, they don't like Kellie, of course. But I'm saying that Angela is saying the same shit that Kellie is saying, but in the confessionals. She didn't call her up. Everything but a child of God, basically. Excuse me. She has basically called her a hoe in the confessional. So has Phaedra. They say they jokingly shady, like, but still the same, because Angela ain't forgot what Porsha said last season. And she makes it known every confessional, every episode. She has something to say about Porsha. But ain't nobody clocking it. They not. They only worried about what the tiny one is saying. But anyway, so this episode, I can't even tell you where it started. Oh, it started out with Pinky and her husband and the little baby. I think she turned 4, and she trying to recite her ABC going K K K K. When she get in there. But it's cute. The baby looked like the daddy, and she just turned 4. We got Kate Michelle going to the dentist. Her husband saying that it's easier to treat people that's not related to you. Excuse me. And she got to get some teeth pulled or something. Excuse me. So then we got Porsha. She's with her sister Lauren, and the babies are there. We have Porsha's little girl and Lauren's little girl. Porsha little girl's into snakes and lizards and all that kind of stuff. So Porsha has someone to come there with a snake. And what's the baby name? Pilar. Pilar, they got to feel the snake and stuff. And the little niece, Lauren's little girl, said the snake feels just like a purse. I thought that was cute. So it was Porsha, Miss Diane, and Lauren. So Lauren and Porsha are discussing. Porsha's at a crossroads. Is it gonna be a man or is it gonna be a woman? The man said, he want a baby. And Portia says, that's a deal breaker. And I guess she don't want to do it. And maybe they thought about maybe donating eggs or whatever. And she said, but what if Sway wants a baby? She said, Sway wants a baby. Sway can have the baby. But, I guess maybe they would probably do like the brat, use Portia eggs. I ain't get it, whatever. But anyways, that's the discussion that Portia's having. She got to figure out which way she want to go. Really. Then she said, but I don't have to choose. Basically, because I got it like that. So, Sway and her go out on a date. And we find out Sway and her actually met years ago, either 8 to 10 years ago. And, basically, it seemed like Porsha ghosted her. So, Porsha said she lived a life since then, had a baby, got married, and all those kind of things. and it was just something about Sway, and she's attracted to her. She wanted to know, it's let her know that basically it's not like she's not playing the game with her, but she is dating, and basically letting her know the best man or woman will win, whatever. So we saw that. This might not even be in chronological order because I want to get to the part I want to get to. We got Shamia and Kellie meeting up at the surrogacy place. We find out that Shamia only has one male embryo left, and she's kind of wondering what's going to happen because they had 5 unsuccessful transfers. And Shamia says her husband don't like her acting and doing sex scenes in the movie. He didn't care for that. And Kellie was like, "What? You got to be something separate from your husband." Um, I don't know. Shamia ain't no Oscar-winning actor, so I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. But anyways, Kellie's going through a whole lot. She spoke with her mama and her grandma at Nana's, and she says that the second one in what is it? Something Springs, whatever it is in Georgia, is not doing well. And she was talking about her husband, her ex-husband, and basically breaking the fourth wall, talking about, she can't film with her kids, um, and all those things. And she says she's dating a guy named, is it Travis? Some shit like that. AKA an alias named Travis. We got the grandma and the granny there, the grandma and the mother there. And I'm like, I thought of Candy's aunties for a minute, but the grandma seems like, she's kind of funny, you know. And I thought that was a little cute scene, but Kellie going through. She going through. Kellie has a conversation with her daughter. We find out Kellie actually got pregnant with her daughter while she was in college. Her daughter asks, basically, if I get good grades or whatever, because she put together a contract for her daughter and the things that she's expecting out of her daughter while she's in college. And she's like, well, if I do all those things, can I get a car? She's like, no, but could I get a business? She said, maybe a way to help you get some money. So then they show a picture of Kellie and her daughter when her daughter looked about, less than a year old or whatever. Okay, we passed that. Was there a scene with Angela? We have Angela, Porsha, and Phaedra meeting. And what's the girl name? Drew. They're all meeting. We find out Angela's daughter is going to be modeling in Fashion Week. The youngest little girl, like she's about 7 or 8, somewhere in there. And then we have maybe 10. I don't know. Phaedra is meeting with the ladies to speak to them about what's going on with Kay Michelle, and because she went to a pottery place with Kay and Kellie. And Kay was telling her about how she found out that Porsha and Drew were actually plotting on her pain. So she mentions about that, about them plotting on her pain. And, they are just taken back, like, what? And Porsha says she listens to those voices. They're like, what voices? Like the voices in her head. Now, I've seen an interview that Little Kim did, and Little Kim talked about the same thing that basically what she compared her to, like the nuts in the trail mix, and basically said she's nutty, nuttier than the Bestie Bug. She was like, I only met her once in person and talked to her on the phone. But how's she supposed to be my god baby's mama? I mean, my baby's godmother. So, Kay, says that they are plotting on her pain because somebody told her. Angela, yeah. So, Phaedra's going to have some kind of sound bath, same Reiki shit she did over there on Married to Medicine. She's going to have it at her house this time. And she said, if Jesus can't fix it, maybe she can. There ain't nothing getting fixed over here. Your sound bath brought all the things out. So the women are coming over for the sound bath. And Phaedra kind of got it set up nicely. And I thought, look at her son. He gets in the pool. So she has these like floatable, like, the little floats that the women are supposed to be on in the pool. Find out when they're on their way there. K. Michelle and Pinky were talking about it and didn't know what to expect really. K. Michelle said she's not getting in that pool because the doctor told her to stay out of the water. And because we found out last night on Watch What Happened Live that K. Michelle has to have another surgery, so she got all kind of shit going on. I don't even know why in the hell she wants to have a baby, because you got too much shit going on with your body and all the toxins that are in it. But anyways, so we have Porsha arrives first. And they brought up the fact, because Cynthia was like, it reminded her of when Phaedra wore on the vacation, and she had like the netted, or yeah, it's like the black net cover up with the swimsuit under there, but it was like thong because all Phaedra cheeks was out. So was Porsha's. And so she was like, basically, Porsha got two asses, not just two cheeks. She got two asses over there, But Porsha came in there, looked at fly with her little swim gear on. And I'm like, ain't that a bit much for Phaedra's son to be sitting there watching these women? But I think it might have been covered up when he came down there, but he was assisting the women to get on the floats. So Phaedra had all the women over. So Cynthia couldn't stay. Cynthia had to leave, but Shamia, when she got there and got on her float actually was somehow got punctured, so it started collapsing. She was like, I know these girls didn't like me, but they try to kill me. Because they're all laying there and they're doing the bongs and making all this different, types of sounds. Pinky said it sounded coat-like to her. I remember Dr. Heavenly had an issue with it because she didn't know what it was conjuring up. Plead the blood of Jesus over it. But Phaedra, is supposed to be a Christian or whatever. So, but they were trying to be tranquil and trying to what's the word I'm looking for? They were trying to concentrate, and God can't look. My mind is gone. I can't think of the word I'm looking for. This is bad when you get old. But they came there to meditate. So they were meditating and everything, and they was playing these sounds, and they was playing a little flute and all that other shit. And he's supposed to, close your eyes. And girl said she ain't closing her eyes. Pinky said that. So Shamia was sitting on the side of the pool, and they was really trying to take it all in. So after all of this, when you know it, shit gonna happen. So to me, I feel like they conjured up all the negative energy. But so she, what is her name? K. Michelle wanted to talk about her issue, and she was letting Porsha know. Basically, you was messing around with my ex. You brought me into this group, and you didn't tell me that you talked to my ex. And Porsha was trying to figure like what, because she knew what she was talking about. She said, "But I didn't know you then." And she's like, "Well, you brought me to this group. You should have like told me," because the ex that came back and told K. Michelle something, and she's taking it to all the way because she said I basically gave her compliments, but she's like, "You still is talking to this man, and you talking to the man about me." So she was before she got to that part, she was explaining to why she felt the way she felt. She explained that, hey, our first encounter, we was at they was at Dirty Tea, and you done said who Kellie was supposed to be messed up. She's like you're the type of person, you have that spirit of exposing people. And here Kellie, excuse me, Kellie over there shaking her head, nodding yes, yeah. She said, because I wish she should have went with her first thought. That's what Kellie is saying about Porsha. Well, also, um, then she says, well, Porsha was like, I'm asking you who was the person, and I'm supposed to be the person. She said, so why am I going to take you down about what? And K. Michelle said, I'm not going to tell you. You already know what you plan on doing. You and Drew. Here go Drew. And man, the whole time Drew and them damn baby hairs was getting on my fucking nerves. I couldn't take it. I'm like, I hate that slick back wig look. And it looks like looks plastic to me. And she got the baby hairs all down. I'm like, oh God. At a certain age, I, I'm tired of the baby hairs. I really am. So Drew was like, what? Black? And they went back and forth. And basically, Drew told her, you don't fit in and you gonna yodel your ass over there. And she said, you over here trying to dig up my resume and everything. And Kate Michelle said, it wasn't hard to do because bitch ain't nothing on there. And here go Kate Michelle, Yole, he who or whatever. I couldn't get that part. Some of this stuff seemed like it was edited because I couldn't understand. But anyways, the shit pops off between Kay. Well, basically, Drew tells Kay that you don't even like belong in this group. You don't fit in, and you're crazy. So then it gets back to somehow, Phaedra was trying to, reel the girls in, and she wanted to get back on track. And Kay Michelle said, let me, finish talking. And she went on about the guy. And, Porsha was like, but you married? Now. I'm not dating that guy now. And Phaedra said, Porsha has dated a guy that she's dated before. She told her, she said, we'll let Porsha tell that. And then Angela Oakley was in a confessional, like, yeah, why is Kate Michelle surprised? Shamia goes, oh, I guess the girl code basically changes for Porsha. So, I'm looking on different, in my group, on my Facebook group. It's Married to Medicine plus Real Housewives of Atlanta and Real Housewives of Potomac. And in that group, the consensus is most people do not like Shamia. I like Shamia. But I like all the ladies. But I call it like I see it. I don't have a favorite that I wouldn't call them out on. Because none of them are my favorite. I like them all as the cast. I think the whole cast is working well. Kay Michelle got on my nerves last week when she started crying. And the only reason why, and like Porsha said this episode, you too sensitive for her. And she said, I don't want to be a friend. Take it back, take it back. I don't want to be a friend. She said, basically, I ain't got to never talk to you. And so she's like, so everybody is like making it like Shamia is the one behind all of this. And I'm sitting here like, what? First, Shamia was the lapdog to Porsha. But now y'all think Shamia is the one to get the girls, to put a battery in each one of these girls' backs to go at Porsha? No. No. So basically, Phaedra goes, what did we learn today? And here goes Kellie. That Porsha has fucked every Nigerian in town. And they set it off right there. What I will say is, I didn't see where that, why was that warranted, but it was funny to me. The show is really messy. It's entertaining. We need everybody to keep going like they're going because they're all playing their part. Kellie don't give a damn. She needs to keep her peach. So she about to keep starting with Porsha. Porsha shouldn't have never, if she's, I felt like Porsha's lying. So they went back and forth. Porsha says not only did Kellie sleep with a married man, but the married man is a reverend. And I'm like, I'm finding it hard to believe that this reverend that Kellie slept with at the BET Awards, after he got done, he rolled over, text somebody, guess who I slept with? Oh my OMG, guess who I just effed? That just don't sound like a married pastor would say this. Then she says that the pastor basically, he's not a stewardess, and he was on the plane. So Millie Chong and all these other content creators, honey, they called out all these other pastors, and they said some pastor that know a pastor that Phaedra knows a wife, and so does Dr. Heavenly. And I'm like, if Phaedra know the wife, I'd be a mad bitch and you supposed to be my friend. Because I think they actually said that this lady has been on the show before with Phaedra, I guess years ago. And I thought, I'm almost feeling like the way everybody is on social media trying to figure out who this man is. Because how they were saying Jamal Bryant, John Gray, who else they say? Some other one that Shaq ex-wife was married to. People are, I mean, now it almost seems like somebody's name has to be thrown out because you got all these people being mentioned and people digging into people's past. Then now you're going to have somebody, if it ain't this pastor that they're talking about, it could be messing up, because you're dealing with people's real lives here. And because Kellie has said she's been dating Travis for almost a year. So when all this stuff was supposed to happen? She told that, while she was sitting with her grandmother and her mom, that she'd been dating Travis for a year. So I don't know. This is getting really messy. And we got the social media um, investigators on it. And they're trying to figure out who this mysterious church man is. I'm just saying, this pastor go get done with Kellie and then run his mouth. I just can't see that. Porsha, it seems a little bit too fantastical, if I made up a word. It just seems fantasy. It don't seem real. It don't. And people are trying to make it real, but when you're trying to make it real, you have other people's lives are involved in this. And they ain't signed up to be on no show. So I think that Porsha should let this shit go for real. So, they went back and forth, honey. They had to get Porsha said, don't ever sit sit this bitch by me, basically. Because, Kellie was sitting right next to her. And, I feel like Kellie is, I feel like Kellie is doing a Dr. Heavenly. I think she did start the shit. I think she is pissed off what Porsha said. And she gonna keep her little foot on Porsha's neck. Some people don't like it, but I feel like it's entertainment. It is. If we did not have K Michelle, if we did not have Kellie, if we did not have Pinky, what kind of show? We wouldn't have a show. So it takes all these different personalities for us to have a show. Because if we didn't have Shamia, y'all wouldn't have nobody to hate. So the next person on the totem pole to be hated, if we got rid of all of them, y'all wouldn't like Angela, point blank. Because Angela was gonna start reading down Porsha. Watch. I bet she is. So it's gonna be something. But everybody don't like Shamia. And I'm like, Shamia is not pulling the pup. She's not the puppet master over here. I believe it's Angela. And because K Michelle said, I guess that night that when they were down in Dallas and about the oysters and the smell and the clean vagina and all that kind of shit. I said, I bet you Angela was on the phone disguising her voice. Talk about the planned plot that was supposed to be happening. Cause she never said who it was. It's gotta be a production thing or something. But I feel like we need these women on the show. They don't need to change the cast at all. I feel like this season is good to me. And they all clocking into work and they making Porsha work. People said, because people don't like K Michelle now because she's coming after Porsha. But like I said, when she explained herself, and if your mind worked that way, I can see why she felt the way she felt. And then if somebody has really called her and said that they were plotting her pain, I can understand why she's upset. Not really upset, but why she don't really, I like that she did confront Porsha and say, let her know, instead of being like a whisper, you didn't heard it, but ain't nobody really saying nothing. So I like that. But yeah, the episode was pretty good. Tomorrow night, Brandy and I will go in depth in it, but I wanted to get on here and say something about it today. Um, the K Michelle is batshit crazy. And I love it. It's funny to me. It's funny. um, but I don't believe Shamia is to blame for none of this shit. I don't believe so. Have Shamia probably told Kellie some stuff about Porsha? Probably so. And I'm pretty sure Porsha probably told Phaedra some stuff about Shamia. Because we know Phaedra made up a lie on Shamia, what they said was a lie. That Shamia was supposed to be in fucking Candy. So I don't know. But people was like in them little comments on my Facebook group saying, no, they believe this is, Shamia has something to do with all of this. I mean, damn, Shamia didn't hardly talk that much in this episode. And y'all still blaming Shamia. All she doing is cutting her eyes and, doing all that kind of stuff. But it's good so far. So then we have K Michelle. I guess she did an interview with what is that? Uncle Shannon. The shade room. No, it ain't the shade room. What is it called? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Anyways, and somewhere else she said something about she let her husband cheat. And I guess she liked to watch him have sex with other people. So she's a ditty. She's into voyeurism. Um so she actually made a comment somewhere, I don't know where, that basically Beyonce and Jay-Z, like Jay-Z could cheat and him and, Beyonce had some arrangement. And I'm like, what? How you know? Just because he got caught cheating the other time and Slides jumped on him and Beyonce made a record, don't mean that it's allowed. She just chose to stay. She said, what's better than one billionaire? Two. So, what else we got going on this show? I don't know. So, Porsha got a dilemma, and then Porsha got the drama. Here go Drew. Am I the drama? So I don't know, but it's a funny episode. I thought it was funny. It was good. I would rate this episode probably about an 8. It was entertaining. It had me. Actually, I started watching it and I hadn't had very much sleep. So, but it kept me entertained, and I thought that okay, it's better than Potomac was. It's better than most of these other housewives shows that y'all don't be giving too much smoke on. But y'all be giving all the heat to Atlanta Housewives. I don't know. Y'all mad at the cast, but the cast is working. That's what I will say. They working. Whether you don't like the beef or whatever, you don't like K Michelle, you don't like Kellie. But if it wasn't for Kellie, K Michelle, and Pinky, we took them 3 off. We wouldn't have had that great reading session between Angela and Pinky. We'd have missed that. They wouldn't have had that. We would not have had the argument between Porsha and Kellie. And if Shamir wasn't there, we wouldn't have all this to try to blame it on somebody. We wouldn't be able to see her body because her body is body, and so was Portia's. So yeah, that's it. That's all. Y'all go and watch the episode and let me know what y'all think. But I think that ultimately The puppet master is Angela. Yeah, because she gonna run it back and she keeping the shit going. I believe it was Angela. I don't, and I'm just saying, like, the little nuggets she drops and she keeps. I guess maybe Porsha might have something to say to her at the reunion. She's not saying it in scene, but she's saying the shit in the confessional. And y'all be talking about everybody be gangstering in the confessional thing, but Angela really is. So also in the confessionals, Kellie only has a t-shirt on. She said, "I'm broke, goddamn it," but I got on a Tom Ford t-shirt. I think she did it to get people talking. So the episode was good. It was messy, but they're giving us a show. So it's always a show where people don't like. So I guess Kellie is probably going to be the most hated one on here. The next would be Shamia. I don't know why y'all don't like Shamia. The only thing she really got caught up in this year is the thing about Phaedra saying that Pinky wasn't vegan, but when it was really Kellie that said she seen her eating a steak. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Please like and share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And like I said, tomorrow about 9:30 p.m. Excuse me. 9:30 p.m. we'll be going live and we'll be giving both of our unpopular opinions. A lot of times we might clash on some things, but I really don't feel like Shamia is the one that's creating all this chaos. I don't. I think Porsha, she created the issue with Kellie this season. Because Kellie wasn't, talking about anything. And I thought they had squashed whatever beef they had last season about Kellie asking Porsha why you take that lady's man or why you sleep with that lady's husband, which she did. So, I don't know. But that's it. That's all. Y'all go and watch the episode and let me know what you think. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye bye.